What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Thursday, July 3rd. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, things got off to a bit of a rough start. We had the Cardinals at minus 140, and that was a 5-0 loss. The St. Louis offense just couldn't get anything going, and yeah, I guess we should have known to fade Sonny Gray coming off that 9-inning appearance, but regardless, a loss there. We also took a very annoying loss there in that San Diego Phillies game. Yeah, we had under 9. Abel was terrible, but we only missed out by a single run from at least escaping that game with a push, so it was close, but just couldn't quite figure it out there down the stretch. Now, we bounced back after that. We had the Milwaukee Bucks at plus 115. Peralta, very good over 6 innings, and the Mets pitching staff continues to struggle. So game 1 of that Brewers doubleheader went exactly as predicted. We also had Toronto at plus 110. They jumped out to a huge early lead, but about gave us a heart attack out there, eventually winning that game 11-9. So it got real convoluted down the stretch, but they find a way to come away with the win. So we'll take it. Unfortunately, the Angels let us down. We had them at plus 118 as our dog of the day. It was an 8-3 loss. Kikuchi was actually fine out there, but not dominant, and the Angels bullpen gave it away aggressively. Fuentes wasn't good out there for the Braves as we predicted, but that wasn't quite enough for us to come away with the win. We did cap things off with a win on our massive lock of the day. We had the Cubs at minus 154. Some pretty solid odds there for the lock of the day. It was a 5-4 win there for Chicago despite Imanaga not looking incredible out there. Bybee was worse, and the Cubs come up with just enough offense to get the job done in that one. So we'll take the win there. A 3-3 day, not exactly what we had in mind. Hit a couple plus money plays though, so we're not too upset with what's going on. So let's go ahead and hop right in here. We've got a few games here, not a full slate to cover here on Thursday. First up, we've got the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Twins did come up with a 2-1 win, kind of controversially yesterday. So yeah, they'll take that. They needed to snap a 3-game losing streak. They'll be hitting the ball in this one to David Festa, who's 2-2 this year, a 5.40 ERA. His last start was one of his best starts in recent memory, guys. 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed there at Detroit in a 4-1 win. So they'll definitely take that. Has he been that good recently? Not usually. It's looked a little rough. He even, ended up in the bullpen for a bit and got shelled there by the Brewers. So we'll see what Festa can do out there in this one. Obviously, this young 25-year-old's going to have his ups and downs, but yeah, wasn't exactly loving what we saw from him there, just in general. I haven't loved what we've seen from him this season. Obviously, against Detroit, his last time he was really good, but that hasn't necessarily been the norm for him. Now, the Twins' bullpen has also been a huge problem for them down the stretch this season, a 4.28 bullpen ERA, a far cry from what we were seeing from this team, coming out of the pen early in the season, and the offense has been nothing, especially as we're 2-0-0-5-4-10 and 2 runs over their last few games. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored. They're 23rd in batting average, batting at .239 as a team. They're just not great at the plate, guys. They don't have a lot of very scary bats. I don't know. Not a lot of positives about the Twins right now. So we'll see what they do here against the Marlins, who are 38-46 on the year. They just had that long winning streak snapped. We'll see if they can get back after it here, handing the ball in this game to Yuri Perez. He's 0-2 this season, a 6.19 ERA. This young 22-year-old has looked good some of the time, but not great, I wouldn't say. His last time out, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 3 and struck out 3 at Arizona in what was eventually a 9-8 win. So not really his fault that they won that game. Needed a lot of help there from the bullpen. He usually needs a lot of help from the bullpen, and that Marlins bullpen is not very good. A 4.29 bullpen ERA has them in the bottom 10 in the majors, and I don't know if we're going to see that change anytime soon. The offense obviously hit the ball relatively well during that winning streak, but can we expect that to continue? Despite going on a lengthy winning streak, they're still in the bottom 8 in the majors in terms of runs scored. They are a top 9 batting average team, batting .254 as a squad. So there's some positives out there, but it's not a batting order that I'm super terrified of. So looking at the numbers here, it is kind of interesting. The Twins are minus 120. The Marlins are plus 105. We've got a total of 8. Minnesota's 18-28 on the road, 25-18-3 to the under on the road. Miami is 18-24 at home, 24-18 to the under at home. I guess given these trends, we have to consider under, and given the kind of offense that we expect from these two teams, we have to look at under, but I'm not in love with either one of these pitchers here, so this game is a bit of a tough spot. I'm going to shade slightly towards the Marlins at plus 105 in hopes that they bounce back, but not a spot where I'm showing any value. Next up, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Astros come into this game 52-34 on the season. They've won each of the first 2 games of this series. It's been fairly competitive, but, the Rockies seem to find a way to lose games. The Astros will hand the ball here to Brandon Walter. He's 1-1 this year, a 3.34 ERA. His last start was against the Cubs, and he was very good. 6 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run allowed. There struck out 5 and walked 0 in a game the Astros would eventually win 7-4. So pretty good stuff there. A nice bounce back after a bad start against the Angels, but generally speaking, this guy has been very solid. I mean, this is only his 6th start of the season, and he's only had 1 bad one. He struggled against the Angels in that really weird outing, and other than that, he's been lights out. So I'm expecting him to be good. I'm expecting the Astros bullpen to continue to be excellent. They're the 3rd best bullpen in all the major leagues, a 3.29 bullpen ERA. Nothing wrong with that. The offense, 5, 6, 2, 3, and 7 over their last few games. Nothing off the chain, but nothing terrible either. They're 5th in batting average, batting .257 as a team. They're 15th in slugging percentage, a number they've been increasing. They're getting on base at .322 clip. That's not terrible. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of promise here for this, this offense to continue to look pretty good. And this team in general has been playing really, really well recently. What have they won? 8 of their last 9 or something like that. So yeah, good stuff for the Astros right now, building a massive lead out there in the AL West. They'll hand the ball here they're going up against the Colorado Rockies in this one, who are 19-67 on the year. They've been struggling and obviously been terrible all year. They'll hand the ball here to Kyle Freeland, who's 1-9 this season, a 5.56 ERA. His last start, 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs against Milwaukee in a 10-6 loss. The Rockies are 1-4 over his last 5 starts. He has had some decent starts mixed in there, so maybe he doesn't deserve all the blame, but he also hasn't been dominant at any point. He hasn't faced the Astros either, but I don't think we're going to see him have a real have a real great time here against Houston, who, comes into this game hitting the ball pretty well and just in general playing great. So I don't know. We'll see what the Rockies bullpen can do. They've been terrible as well, guys. Bottom 6 in the majors, a 4.57 bullpen ERA. And the offense, I think everybody knows at this point this offense is pretty horrible. They're last in the majors on base percentage, at 27th in batting average. They're 28th in runs scored. Not a lot of scary bats out there. Absolutely not. These were 3, 5, 4, 0, 6, 1, 1, and a 7 over their last several games. It's pretty bleak for the Rockies. Just in general, kind of bleak for that franchise, if you ask me. So we'll see what happens here. The Astros are -180. The Rockies are +152. We've got totals out there of 11 or 11.5. Houston, 19-20 on the road, 20, 16-3 to the under on the road. Colorado, 8-33 at home, 21, 19-1 to the under at home. Guys, I definitely like the Astros to, continue to win in this series. I don't think we're going to see any sort of, step back from Brandon Walter. I think he's going to be good out there. I think we'll see the Rockies bullpen continue to struggle and their hitters struggle. So, yeah, definitely think the Astros at -180 is, a nice look here for a potential lock of the day. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks, with NFL and college football obviously coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row, is off to a great first half of the 2025 season. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not always match what you see here in the video, and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for MLB over at Stump the Spread. We actually have a guy over there who has many more years of MLB experience than me. He's been an absolute monster, and he's on an absolute tear right now. He, on July 1st, he had the Royals as a 2-unit play, the Pirates as a 3-unit play, and the Red Sox as a 2-unit play. All 3 of those cashed. Then yesterday on July 2nd, he did have a bump in the road. He had the Rangers as a 3-unit play, the Angels as a 2-unit play. They let him down, and the Blue Jays as a 2-unit play as well. The Rangers and Blue Jays both cashed. So yeah, that's pretty good. 5-1 over the last 2 days. And also, if you go back a little bit farther, he's 10-4 over the last 14. He's been on absolute fire. He uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make his predictions, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration when he's making these plays. So yeah, definitely worth checking out the premium content over there at Stump the Spread. There's all kinds of good stuff, and even more once other sports start going. So very worth checking that out. Also, get over to stumpthespread.com and get on our free email list. It's great value straight to your inbox every single day. There'll be at least one, sometimes two free picks in there, parlays in there all the time, all kinds of good information on you, like niche sports betting, like golf. I know there's a big golf write-up in there the last couple days, NASCAR, tennis, you name it, it could be in there. And it's fantastic information, guys, straight to your inbox every single day. So definitely check that out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, you can click the little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. Channel members here on YouTube get early access to all of our videos. You get your name up on screen in every single video like you've been seeing, but you also get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be doing another one here on the 7th of July here. We'll be giving away a Stump The Spread hoodie to one random channel member. We just gave one away the first day of July. We're gonna give away one here on the 7th, and yeah, you can't even buy this apparel. We don't have any way to sell our merch as of yet, so looking into that, but definitely become a channel member. Gives you a great shot to win some some merchandise here from Stump the Spread, and that happens every single week now, so definitely worth hopping in there. But guys, let's dive back in. We've got a bunch of games to cover here still on this interesting Thursday slate, and next up we're gonna look at the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Tigers come into this game 54-33 on the year, but they did just lose 9-4 against the Nationals in game 2 of this series. We'll see what they can do in this one, hitting the ball to Dietrich's ends. He comes into this game, guys, only his second start of the year. His first one went great back on the 26th. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed there, and an 8-0 win against the Athletics. Going up against the Nationals here, I wouldn't say that's a big step up. So I feel pretty good about Enns on the mound in this one. I think he's going to have a good time. Now, obviously, the Tigers are coming off of, they were one of the teams that had a doubleheader yesterday. So yeah, they won game 1, lost game 2. We'll see what happens in this one. I'm expecting the pitching staff at least to have a decent day, although, fatigue is certainly a concern. And the Tigers bullpen has not looked as great recently as it looked in the early, or the first half of the season. A 3.82 bullpen ERA does leave some room for concern. The offense, though, has been hitting the ball well, 4, 11, 3, and 10 over their last few games, and they've been hitting the ball great basically all year long. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored. They're 6th, batting .257 as a team. They're 5th in slugging percentage. Like, this is a team that can absolutely hit it, led by Riley Green, who's having a very good season. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Nationals, who have won 2 out of their last 3, so I guess we got to give them some credit. They'll be hitting the ball in this game to Jake Irvin. He comes into this one 6-3 on the year, a 4.73 ERA, but he got obliterated by the Angels his last time out, guys. Gave up 9 runs, 8 of them were earned over 4 1/3 innings. It was pretty brutal. We eventually saw the Nationals lose that game 15-9. Over his last 5 starts, I think he's been fine. I'm not going to say he's been great. We'll see what it looks like here against the Tigers. He hasn't faced them yet this year, but I'm not exactly expecting him to have an amazing time. Now, the bullpen for the Nationals, whether the starter has a good time or not, the bullpen is terrible. Worse than the majors, a 5.83 bullpen ERA. In the offense, it's actually looked better recently. 9, 2, 7, 2, and 15 over their last few games, but this isn't an amazing offense. I would say this is around an MLB average kind of offense. 17th in batting average, 14th in runs scored, 20th in on-base percentage. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Tigers, who are a pretty good team overall. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers definitely like Detroit here. They're -160. The Nationals are +135. We got a total of 9.5 out there. Detroit is 24-18 on the road, 27-15 to the over on the road. Washington is 16-25 at home. Not a very good home team. 21-19-1 to the under at home. I don't have a lot of interest in the total in this game. I would maybe lean under 9.5 if anything, but I do think the Tigers at -160 are worth a look here. Enns was very good in his first start of the season. I think he'll be good in this one as well. I do worry about a little bit about bullpen fatigue and stuff like that, and just fatigue in general coming off a doubleheader. So we'll see if this makes it into the pinned comment, guys, but I think the Tigers here at -160 definitely has a chance. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Toronto Blue Jays there in kind of a heart attack style game, but hey, they got the win, so it still counts yesterday. But the Yankees, they come into this one losers of 3 in a row. They are officially tied now with Toronto for the top spot there in the AL East. So this game is to decide who gets the top spot there in the division. The Yankees will hand the ball here to Clark Schmidt, who's 4-4 this season, a 3.09 ERA. He's actually coming off a bit of a bump in the road. He hadn't given up an earned run or a run in general over his 3 starts before that, but his last time out got knocked around a bit by the Athletics, giving up 4 earned runs over 6 innings in a 7-0 loss there for the Yankees. But in general, Clark Schmidt has been very good this season, and I'm expecting him to bounce back here a little bit. Now, going up against Toronto, maybe not the easiest, but he did have a great start against them in late April, so maybe that's something to lean on here. We'll see. The bullpen for the Yankees has also had its struggles recently. Now, a 3.81 bullpen ERA is not the end of the world, still in the top half of the majors, but they're used to being one of the best, 2 or 3 bullpens in the majors, and that's not looking like the case right now. And the offense, I mean, they scored 9, 5, and 4 runs over these 3 games and haven't won any of them. That's got to be a little bit frustrating. But, the offense hasn't been going along at the, insane clip that they'd been on for a while. They're 4th in runs scored still, 10th in batting average, batting .254 as a team. But it seems like, opponents are learning kind of how to pitch around the Yankees where they need to and who to go after and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see what they come up with here against the Blue Jays. Now, Toronto comes in this game playing great. They've won 6 out of their last 7. They're 48-38 on the season. They're now, tied with the Yankees for the top spot in the AL East. They'll hand the ball to Chris Bassett, who's 7-4 on the year, a 4.29 ERA. He's in need of a bounce back, guys. He went into Fenway his last time out and got obliterated there by the Red Sox. So we'll see if he's got a bounce back in him. He hasn't thrown the ball terrible over his last 5 starts, generally speaking. In terms of history against the Yankees this season, he did face them back in late April, and it didn't go great. 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. So I'm a bit worried about him. I'm a little bit worried about Chris Bassett in this game. I'm going to be 100% honest. We'll see what he can do, see if he's got a bounce back in him, see if the bullpen can continue to be good. A 3.71 bullpen ERA is certainly playable there for Toronto. That's not a huge issue. The offense has been looking fantastic. On fire, guys. 11, 12, 5, 5, 1, 9, and 6 runs over their last few games. They are hitting the cover off the ball. They're currently 12th in runs scored in the majors, but 3rd in batting average, batting .258 as a team. They are 4th in on-base percentage, getting on base at a .330 clip. This is a dangerous team at the plate. So looking at the numbers here, the Yankees are -125. The Blue Jays are +105. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Yankees 22-20 on the road, 22-18-2 to the under on the road. Toronto 27-16 at home, a very good home team. 27-15-1 to the over at home. This is a bit of a tough spot, guys, but I'm actually going to zag a little bit here and take the Yankees at -125. Bassett scares me a little bit. Clark Schmidt in a bounce back spot, and it generally has been throwing the ball amazingly well. I think he's going to have a good outing here against the Blue Jays and calm their bats down a little bit. So definitely like the Yankees here at -125. In terms of the total, I would maybe lean slightly towards the over here, but I don't love that necessarily. So yeah, give me the Yankees here at -125. I think it's a pretty decent play. Next up, guys, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Brewers come into this game 48-38 on the season, looking pretty good, except for that 7-3 loss there yesterday against the Mets. That was a bit tough. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jose Quintana. He's 6-2 on the year, a 3.30 ERA. His last start, there were definitely some bumps in the road. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed against the Rockies, in what was eventually a 10-6 win. The Brewers are 4-1 over his last 5 starts, and he's been pretty good in at least 3 of them. He didn't look great against the Cardinals back on the 14th of last month, but overall, I don't have a ton of bad things to say about Jose Quintana. I'm expecting him to be pretty good in this game. The Brewers bullpen, always a bit of a wild card, guys. They are sporting a 4.19 ERA coming out of the pen, but it's looked a bit better here recently. Also, the Brewers, what did they win one? Yeah, they lost 7-3 in game 2 of the doubleheader. They won 7-2 yesterday in game 1. That's why we cashed the Brewers yesterday in game 1. Love that. But we'll see what they can get done in this one at the plate. In general, they've been pretty decent at the plate. I mean, 3-7, 3-5, 10, 4, and 9 over their last several games. This isn't an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they're 8th in runs scored, which is obviously great, but 16th in batting average and 21st in slugging percentage. I feel like paints kind of a more accurate picture of where this team is at offensively. But they're not terrible, like I was saying. And we'll see what they can get done here against the Mets, who continue to flounder a little bit. I know they're coming off a 7-3 win, but they'd lost 4 straight going into that one, including getting swept by the Pirates, which is not something that should be happening to you if you're the Mets. Now, they'll hand the ball in this game to David Peterson. He's 5-4 this year, a 3.30 ERA. His last start was one of those losses against the Mets. He got shelled over 4 2/3 innings. Start for that, he got shelled at the Phillies. Start for that was actually pretty decent at the Braves, but I'm a little bit worried about Peterson here. We'll see what he can get done against the Brewers. I don't feel like he has not faced them yet this year, but we'll see. The pitching staff for the Mets in general has been floundering. The bullpen's been looking worse and worse recently. That's been a weird change from, being one of the better bullpens in the majors the first half of the season. Now all of a sudden they're not good. ERA of 3.79 coming out of the pen, and the offense we all know has been struggling just in general. I mean, they haven't gotten the boost they thought they would get from adding Soto. Pete Alonso had an insane start to the year, but he's cooled off drastically. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored, 20th in batting average, batting 243 as a team. I mean, I'm not throwing in the towel yet, and apparently, moving Nemo and Lindor around a little bit, helped, but we'll see if that continues here, guys, down the stretch. Seems like a bit of a big ask to me. So look at the numbers. The Brewers are actually plus 130. The Mets are minus 155. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Milwaukee, 21-20 on the road, so not a bad road team. 21-18 and 2 to the under on the road. The Mets, 29-13 at home. 22-18 and 2 to the under at home. There's reason to be looking at the under in this game just based on those trends, but not a ton of reason. I actually think the best play in this game is to take the Brewers at plus 130. I just think they're the better team right now with the way the Mets have been playing. Now, maybe the win in that second game of the doubleheader turns things around for them, but that seems like a bit of a big ask to me. So we'll see what happens here, but I definitely think the Brewers at plus 130 is going on the list as a potential dog of the day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Angels come into this one 42-43 on the year. They lost yesterday 8-3, so an annoying spot for us, especially after they jumped out to that nice little lead early. Thought we might be in good shape, but that was annoying. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jose Soriano, who's 5-5 this season, a 3.99 ERA. His last start, he got shelled by the Nationals, guys. 4 innings, 9 hits, 8 earned runs allowed, which was weird because he had 3 very good starts right before that. So we'll see what he looks like here against the Braves. Not that much different than the Nationals. Well, I don't know. We'll see what we get from Soriano. He's been a bit all over the place this year, and a 26-year-old pitcher, I think you're going to see that every once in a while. I don't think he's going to be, super duper consistent. The Angels bullpen has been consistent this year, but consistently bad. A 5.23 bullpen ERA. Not what you want, not what you're looking for. The offense hasn't been anything incredible recently either. I mean, 3, 4, 4, 8, 9, and 5 over their last few. You can see the last couple games not hitting the ball that hard. They're 28th in the majors in batting average. They are 17th in runs scored, though, and 10th in slugging percentage. So a team that can definitely jump on you. You just don't have to worry about that happening every single night. We'll see what they get done here against the Atlanta Braves, who have been just going through it recently in terms of injuries. Schwellenbach with that fractured elbow. That's a little bit unfortunate. They're 39-46 this season. They're fresh off that 8-3 win. They'll hand the ball here to Bryce Elder, who's 2-5 on the year, a 5.82 ERA. His last time out, he got dismantled, and honestly, his last 3 starts, it looks terrible. And those are starts against the Phillies, Marlins, and Rockies. So they need him to look a little bit better. Maybe let him go 8 innings there against the Giants back on the 7th of last month was a bad idea, because ever since then, he has floundered aggressively. So they need him to bounce back. They need their bullpen to take care of business. A 3.65 bullpen ERA there for Atlanta. Very good stuff. The bullpen's been actually a bit of a bright spot for a team that's been in need of bright spots this season. The offense coming off an 8-run game, I'm sure feels great, but recently they've scored 8, 0, 1, 6, 0, 0, and 3. Not a team that you have to be scared of at the plate, guys. They are 24th in the majors in runs scored. They are 22nd in slugging percentage, 16th in on-base percentage. This is just flat out not a very good offense. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Angels are plus 115. The Braves are minus 135. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Angels are a 500 road team. They're 23-20-1 to the over on the road. Atlanta, 23-18 at home, 25-13-3 to the under at home. I actually think this is a pretty good spot to look at under 9. I think both pitchers could have bounce backs in this game. So that would definitely put under 9 as a very reasonable play. I would worry about the Angels bullpen a little bit in that case. But in terms of a side, I think the Braves have to be a little bit depressed. I'll lean slightly towards the Angels here, plus 115, but not a game where I'm seeing anything that's going in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. Slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Chicago Cubs yesterday as our massive lock of the day. It was a close one, but we'll take it. The Guardians come into this game 40-44 on the year, losers of, 6 in a row now. They'll hand the ball to Luis Ortiz in this game. He's 4-9, a 4.36 ERA. His last start was against the Cardinals. He was okay, I guess. 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, but not amazing. A letdown after a great start against the Athletics, and he's been pretty inconsistent this year in general. I don't think he's faced the Cubs this season, but yeah, I haven't necessarily loved what we've seen from Luis Ortiz, and I doubt that Cleveland has loved it either. It's been a bit of a rough up and down season. The Cleveland bullpen hasn't been anything special this year either. A 3.97 bullpen ERA, not nearly as good as we saw from them in years past. And the offense has been a problem for this squad, guys. I mean, Jose Ramirez is slumping a little bit down to batting .301 with 13 home runs. And in general, this is the 29th, so second to last highest batting average in the majors. Not great. They're 27th in runs scored, 26th in on-base percentage. Just not a lot of positives right now for the Cleveland Bats, and it's kind of been like that all year. I don't know, you just can't build an offense around one guy if that one guy is Jose Ramirez. And you can't really build an offense around one guy in baseball anyway. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Cubs, who come into this game 51-35 on the year. They've got a 3-game cushion there in the NL Central. They've won 3 out of their last 4, and they'll hand the ball to Cade Horton here. This young 23-year-old is 3-2 on the year, a 4.80 ERA. His last time out, he got dismantled by the Astros. Start for that, struggled against the Mariners. Now he gets to go up against the Guardians. I feel like this is a pretty reasonable spot to expect him to bounce back a little bit here. He's faced some tough teams. He's faced some bad teams. He's a lot better against the bad teams. Shocker of the year. So I'm expecting him to have a pretty good time here against Cleveland. The Cubs bullpen's obviously been excellent. A 3.21 bullpen ERA is currently second best in the majors, so that's not a concern either. Loving that for the Cubs. The offense for Chicago has also been amazing overall this year. I mean, they're currently second in runs scored, fourth in batting average, batting .257 as a team. Now, they've scored 5-5-0, 12, 4, 3, and 8 runs over their last several games. Been pretty smooth sailing here for one of the most dangerous offenses in baseball. I don't think that's really up for debate right now. They're not going to put up, bonkers, crazy pants numbers like the Dodgers maybe, but they're going to put up some pretty good numbers. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Guardians are plus 128, the Cubs are minus 155. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. Cleveland 20-23 on the road, 23-16-4 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 26-13 at home, 19-17-3 to the over at home. Once again, guys, I think this is a good spot to be on the Cubs. I don't trust Luis Ortiz. I feel like this price tag should be a little bit higher on the Cubs, especially with how bad the Guardians have been at the plate. So definitely think this is a good spot to look at Chicago here at minus 155. Will it be the lock of the day? Probably not, but I definitely think it deserves a spot in the pinned comment, especially on a shorter slate. Next up, guys, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Giants 46-41 on the year. They just won game 3 of this series. A desperately needed 6-5 win that was pretty close stuff. Took extra innings and all that. Now, they'll try and keep things on the right track here, handing the ball to Robbie Ray, who's 8-3 this season, a 2.75 ERA. He's come off a very good start against the White Sox, where he went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, and a single run. And eventually we see the Giants lose that game 1-0. Like, pretty embarrassing stuff there. Robbie Ray hasn't looked as good recently as he looked, at the very, very beginning of the season. So we'll see if he can, turn things back around. But it's feeling to me like that was more of just like a hot start situation, but I don't know. It's hard to gauge because the Giants' offense has disappeared. Now, San Francisco has been a very good bullpen. A 2.95 bullpen ERA is still tops in the majors, although they've had some hiccups here recently, but they've looked pretty good this season overall. The offense, though, is a huge issue. They've scored 6, 2, 2, 2, and 0 over their last few games. They're currently 19th in runs scored, 25th in batting average, 25th in slugging percentage. This is one of those teams that got off to a crazy hot start at the plate, and it wasn't a real thing, and it's, aggressively tailed off. So we'll see if they can come up with something here against the Diamondbacks. Arizona, a 500 team right now. They are coming off that tough 6-5 loss. They'll hand the ball here to Brandon Pfaadt, who's 8-5 on the year, a 5.38 ERA though, so that's not ideal. His last start was against the Marlins, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, struck out 7 and walked 1. I mean, over his last 5 starts, he's looked decent. He's not going super deep into games, going around 5 innings and giving up some hits, but seems like he keeps his team in games, but he doesn't get very much run support. So we'll see what happens with Pfaadt in this one. Has he faced the Giants? He has faced the Giants this year, and it did not go well back on May 13th. So that is a bit concerning. Robbie Ray has faced Arizona as well and was pretty good over 6 innings back in mid-May. So we'll see how this one goes. Looking at the bullpen for Arizona, obviously it's terrible. One of the 4 worst bullpens in the majors. No question mark there. That's been the case all year long. And the offense, guys, not as hot as it's been. I mean, they've scored 5, 8, 4, 4, 7, 8, and 3 over their last few games. This is a team that's going to have to score runs. That pitching staff is flat out bad, guys. They're 3rd in runs scored, 8th in batting average, 2nd in slugging percentage, but They need every single one of those runs they can get. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Giants are minus 120. The Diamondbacks are plus 100. We've got a total of 8.5. The Giants are 20-24 on the road. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. Arizona 22-21 at home. They're 21-19-3 to the over at home. I don't have much of a lean on the total in this game, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't even really care about the total here. I will side slightly with the Giants at minus 120 with Robbie Ray on the mound, but this isn't a spot I love, guys. I don't trust either one of these teams at all at the moment, so generally this game I'm staying away from. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Dodgers. The White Sox blew it yesterday, guys, losing 5-4 in a game. It looked like they were going to win. It's the White Sox, though, so who's really shocked? They'll hand the ball today to Aaron Savale, who's 1-4, a 4.74 ERA. He's making his fourth start here for the White Sox, and the first three have been vaguely reasonable. I mean, a good start against the Rangers, a good start against the Giants, and sandwiched in the middle, a bad start there against Toronto. But your pitch for the White Sox doesn't really matter how well you throw the ball. Your team's still probably going to lose. We'll see what he can do here against the Dodgers. Obviously, pretty much the toughest offense you could possibly face. So that doesn't probably sound super fun to Savale. Also, the White Sox bullpen, nothing special, a 4.07 bullpen ERA. Not a complete unmitigated disaster, but obviously not what you're looking for. The offense isn't great either. 4, 1, 5, 1, and 1 runs scored over their last few games. It's been pretty brutal. They're 29th in the majors in runs scored. They are last in the majors in batting average. They are last in the majors in slugging percentage and second to last in on-base percentage. They are coming for that worst offense in the majors crown once again. They're taking on the Dodgers, who are kind of a different animal right now. Obviously, cool news there with Clayton Kershaw putting up his 3,000th strikeout, but tough news there, a tough look there with Muncy being helped off after that knee injury. That could be bad. That could definitely be bad. The Dodgers have won 3 in a row and 8 of their last 9. They'll hand the ball here to Dustin May, who's 4-5 this season, a 4.68 ERA. His last start was against the Royals, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. Doesn't look great, but it was a 5-4 win, so they'll take it. We'll see what he looks like here against the White Sox. Can't face a much easier opponent. The Dodgers bullpen's been a problem, a 4.18 bullpen ERA. Definitely not good. A big problem they're going to have to address at some point down the stretch here. The offense, though, transcendently good. I mean, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 3, 8, and 9 over their last few games. Ohtani is up 230 home runs, so that's pretty impressive stuff. They're first in runs scored, first in batting average, first in slugging percentage, and first in on-base percentage. Looking like kind of, far away the best offensive team in the majors. So looking at the numbers here, the White Sox are plus 235. The Dodgers are minus 290. We've got a total of 9. The White Sox are 9-33 on the road, 26-14-2 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 31-14 at home, 28-15-2 to the over at home. I mean, I think you have to take the Dodgers here, but minus 290 isn't super, enticing. You got to take them at minus 1.5. You took them at minus 1.5 yesterday, you lost. So yeah, I don't know. I don't love too much in this game. Not showing tons of value. I suppose I could make the Dodgers at minus 290 my lock of the day, but with Dustin May on the mound, I don't really love it that much. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Royals lost game 3 of this series 3-2. They'll hand the ball here in game 4 to Seth Lugo, who's 5-5 this season, a 2.74 ERA. His last start was against the Dodgers, and he was actually really good. He walked 5, but gave up no runs over his 5 2/3 innings, and a 9-5 win there for the Royals that they desperately needed. Now, he's been excellent over his last 5 starts, honestly, but the Royals are only 2-3 over that span. So yeah, that's got to be a little bit, maybe devastating is too strong a word, but close to devastating if you're a starting pitcher, putting up those kind of numbers and just not getting any run support. The Royals bullpen has been very respectable, top 6 in the majors, a 3.55 bullpen ERA. Nobody's going to cry about that. They have lost 3 out of their last 4, though, and yeah, the offense just is not there for this team. That's the problem. They're last in runs scored. They are 28th in slugging percentage. They just got no bats, guys. It has looked really, really rough all year long there for the Royals. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Mariners, who are 45-41 on the year. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They'll hand the ball in this one to Brian Wu, who's 7-4 this season, a 2.93 ERA. He's been excellent over his last 3 outings, guys. Very good start against the Rangers. Unfortunately for him, we see the Mariners lose that game in extras, but it wasn't his fault. Good against the Twins to start for that. Good, excellent. Lights out against Boston to start for that. So yeah, we've loved what we've seen from Wu. Has he pitched against the Royals this season? No, it appears he has not. And I guess Lugo hasn't faced the Mariners either. Let's double check that real quick, guys. Yeah, no history versus these teams this season. So looking at the bullpen for the Mariners, it's been very good, a 3.61 bullpen ERA. That's not a concern. The offense has been drastically better than last season. Obviously, Cal Raleigh going nuts this year. What is he on? 33 home runs now. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, 8th in on base percentage. This team would have killed for those numbers at the plate last year. So loving a lot of what we've seen from the Mariners this season and right now. So looking at the numbers, though, I'm a little bit thrown off. The Royals are plus 135. The Mariners are minus 160. We've got a total of 7 in this game. The Royals are 20 and 22 on the road, 23, 18, and 1 to the under on the road. Seattle, 21 and 20 at home, 22, 16, and 3 to the over at home. Guys, the Mariners aren't an amazing home team necessarily. I don't hate taking the Royals here at plus 135 with Lugo on the mound, but I think the better value in this game would be maybe to lean towards the under in the first 5, or what has the best chance to make the pin comment is no runs scored in the first inning here. Neither offense is really on fire right now. Both starting pitchers are excellent. I think it would be a little bit shocking to see either team score here in the first frame. That's all the games we have here on Thursday, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Check out all the premium plays that have been absolutely on fire over there. Get on that free email list. You got to do that, guys. It's free information straight to your inbox every single day. You just click the link in the description. All they need is your name and your email address. That's it. Then you got a free account set up and you'll be on that email list. So definitely check that out, guys, and come back here tomorrow and check out our next video. We'll be right back here, same time, same place for more sports betting action.